Wow. Would you look at that? I mean, I never thought I would actually return with another Larry showcase video, but this should be very interesting. I haven't really done any Larry showcase videos since 2015. Largest reason why is because that series is very underrated, but I'm going to do this series again and see where this goes. I'm not sure if this is actually going to, interest a lot of people, as especially with you guys, the fans. I don't really know, but we'll see exactly what goes on from here. So just check out this video and then tell me what you guys think. With that said, though, I'm gonna actually showcase to you the homebrew S, because a lot of you probably already know that you guys can soft mod a Wii, where you can actually get the homebrew browser, the homebrew channel as it's actually called, as well as launching backups for Wii or GameCube or whatever, play emulators and all that stuff. I'm gonna actually showcase every single one of these things to you. I'm gonna make sure that I showcase everything to you. I think I might do a face cam here just to test out the video capabilities on here. So, well, let's do this, shall we? Okay, so I just turned the Wii on. Well, it's actually been on, but well, anyways, after actually putting the capture card in, now we can finally navigate through here, because now you can clearly see this is the remote right here. I got it right here. So, like I was saying, you can clearly see that there are some homebrew stuff on here. Actually, minus these two. These were actually two games that I actually bought from the Wii shop a long time ago, because I've actually had this Wii for actually 12 years, believe it or not. I actually had this Wii when it first came out, and 12 years later it still works. But that doesn't matter. Anyways, you can see all the homebrew apps and all that stuff. Like, in order to soft mod, I forget how you actually soft mod it. I highly suggest searching up other. If you want links to tutorials, I can definitely recommend them to you, because those are people that I actually recommend the most, because their tutorials are actually some of the best. But anyways, this right here was actually a WAD that I actually installed. This is USB loader. Remember how I was talking about, Wii and GameCube backups? Well, this is actually the software where you can actually do that. But we're actually going to the homebrew channel right here. So what we're going to do is that we're going to take a browse right through it. This is what we're going to do. We're going to actually breeze through the homebrew channel. Now, I usually like to use the GameCube controller to navigate through, but I guess I'll just use this Wii remote right now. But yeah, this is where you can actually, run a lot of your homebrew, softwares, such as these emulators and whatnot. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to... Alright. So, I'm going to pick up my GameCube controller. Ah, crap, I didn't mean to drop that. But... this is my GameCube controller. I actually do own a GameCube, just FYI. It's currently plugged into the Wii, so I can actually use this. So you can clearly see that, you can navigate through. You have to use the D-pad. Now the custom ISO's installer. This is actually the software that you use when you actually want to make the soft modded Wii be compatible with running backups on your Wii. So. And Pimp My Wii is how you can actually install WADs and all that stuff. That's actually how I was able to install USB Loader GX as a Wii channel, pretty much. And the homebrew browser pretty much is actually just nothing more than like a here, I'm gonna actually show you exactly what it is. Basically, the homebrew browser is basically like, it's basically a software where you could just go on there and download all kinds of, homebrew softwares, and they go onto your SD card. And yeah, if you're wondering, you could either use an SD card or a flash drive to actually pull up any softwares on the homebrew channel. I thought I'd, throw that out there. Oh yeah, you can clearly see I'm actually controlling this arrow with my GameCube controller. Just thought I'd throw that out there to you. But yeah, you can download homebrew games or demos or whatever, or video players or and whatnot. So you can find like a handful of things here. Like for example, like this, like this channel installer right here. Uh, it basically installs. It basically like it's. I'm not sure if it installs a WAD or whatever, but I'll give you a good example. I'm gonna press download right here, and what it does is that it downloads to your SD card. So, or yeah, it downloads to your SD card. You see, the thing about the homebrew applications is that they automatically detect your SD card, because pretty much it mainly goes to the SD card as more of like as a default removable drive, if that makes sense. Yeah, you can see there's a Sega Saturn emulator and whatnot. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get out of here. But yeah, that's about it. And there you go. You guys can clearly see there's the channel installer right here. Now about the emulators. I'm gonna show you a good example, like this NES emulator right here, FCE Ultra GX. This is actually one of the more well-known ones here. So I'm just showing you a good example. So there you go. You can run games like Contra and all that stuff on here. And these emulators are actually pretty good, I'll be honest with you. You can use your analog stick. You can even play this with the Wii controller if you want, but I'm just doing this with my I'm more or less doing this with my doing it with my GameCube controller, because pretty much anything that I do on here is gonna be like on my GameCube controller. So I mean, I don't really mind the Wii remote pretty much, but I usually like to play with my GameCube controller because it plays more fluently. I'm not against the Wii remote by any means. I just think the GameCube controller is more fun for me. But again, that's just me. So you can clearly see Contra plays really well on here, and there's other handful of Nintendo games that also play well on here. So you don't have to worry a lot about, hold on a second, I'm gonna get out of here. Yeah, I have to flick the C stick just to get out of here. Now I'm gonna get on to the main event, the one thing that everybody wants to know about, and I do apologize that the camera's getting a little bit dark, but it's also getting dark outside, so I apologize. But anyways, let's get to what the people do want to see. USB Loader GX. This is where the magic happens. Like, if you want to play your Wii or GameCube backups, this is the way to go. And I'm going to show you it. This is it. Currently, it's actually detecting all kinds of games. Like, not only is it detecting it from my flash drive, but it's also reading everything off of my SD card too. So it detects it from both, ports of media, which I think is actually pretty cool, actually. The only thing is, though, is that I did put a Wii game on here. Hold on, because I did put a Wii game on my flash drive before I did this, so I find it completely strange how it's not on here. Oh well, that's not. But I really don't care. I'm mainly just trying to show you guys what it looks like. But basically, it loads it from on my flash drive, as well as on my SD card as well. So this is where all the GameCube stuff appears. Now, this is where your settings would be. In fact, this is actually where you can actually have don't you see the installation media? Give me a sec. Yeah, I can't change it because like I said, that's actually the default, because like I said, that's the default drive, so it's always gonna stay that way. I do know for a fact that there is a way to install Wii games on here, but I actually never did that yet. But I'm not concerned about it at all. At least not right now, because I'm more or less trying to showcase. I'm more or less trying to showcase this to a lot of you, just to give you guys a quick idea of what it looks like. But that's it. But this is everything. You guys can see all the GameCube games that I put on here. There's Mario Kart Double Dash, there's Bloody Roar Primal Fury, X-Men Legends, X-Men The Next Dimension, the 2 Time Splitters games, 2 and Future Perfect, which for the record are both great first-person shooters. Star Fox Assault, Spider-Man 2, based on my favorite Marvel film. Soul Calibur 2, Resident Evil 4, Namco Museum, and Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. Though just to name a few off the bat. There's all kinds of ways on how you could actually view this right here. You can view it through here. You can either view it like in the style of like Wii channels or whatever, or you could just view it like this. Personally, this is the one that I picked because I think it actually looks pretty good this way. But there's really nothing much else that I can say. I just wanted to show you guys exactly what, what this looks like, because it really is pretty good if you ask me. But if you guys did enjoy this episode of Larry's Showcase, be sure to subscribe. Just one last thing though. I'm pretty sure a lot of you do want to see me boot up a game just to show you guys that it's legit or something. So, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to boot up a game. I'm going to boot up X-Men The Next Dimension. This is just a random choice, by the way, so don't really expect a lot from it. But anyways, yeah, this is just a random choice. I just want to show you that this is exactly how it works. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, by the way, in order for you to play GameCube backups on here, you also have to install Nintendo. But bear in mind, this isn't a tutorial. This is actually a showcase. Like, I'm actually showing you like what it is and how it works and all that stuff. So it's not really a tutorial. But if anybody does want to see a tutorial, then let me know. So here it is. This is X-Men The Next Dimension. A pretty decent game, I'll be honest with you. It's a pretty decent game. Like, I wouldn't necessarily say it's the greatest I've ever played, but the greatest X-Men game I've ever played. Personally, if I was to say anything, it would probably be either X-Men vs. Street Fighter or the X-Men Legend games. But if you're talking about strictly X-Men games, it would probably be the X-Men Legends games, which I thought were actually really amazing. I'm gonna pick my all-time fave. That would be Wolverine. He's not only my favorite X-Men member, but he's my all-time favorite Marvel character. Just thought I'd throw that out there to a lot of people. So I'm gonna just use him as like a prime example. And well, I don't know what else you want me to say. It pretty much works. Like it pretty much works just the way it's supposed to. It's a basic fighting game. Just while I throw it out there to a lot of you. So don't really expect a lot from this game. This is pretty much a game where you could just have so much fun, like playing with your friends and just smashing each other with famous X-Men characters.
Food is the greatest.
And this game is actually not too bad, like I said. It's very playable, but I wouldn't necessarily expect a lot out of it.